We'll now call the November 19th, 2020 DeSoto County Board of Education meeting to order. Please rise for the led by the chair.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, it's time to approve the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? Seeing none, I need a recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
All right, with Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion? Make that motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. At this time on the agenda, we have the superintendent.
Thank you, Madam President. I've got several items today. We have many of our students here with us. We'll be recognizing in just a moment. We've also got our teacher spotlight segment today. At this time, I would like to ask our Director of Athletics, Mr. Anthony Jenkins, to please come forward. We've got an individual that we recognize today and a state championship team also.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Church. We have two students that we want to recognize as wonderful winning state championships. One an individual state champion and the other one a team state champion. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Chris Purvis to come forward along with Coach Clay to tell us about the individual state champion.
Good morning. We were honored today Tucker Fox, who won first place in the 200 IM, and he finished second in the 100 breaststroke, and he anchored the relay that finished third in the 400 freestyle relay. So, Mr. Tucker Fox.
Congratulations. Thanks, John. Congratulations.
Our next school is Lake Palmer High School. They are the 5A state champions in volleyball. And before I bring the principal out, Ms. Connell Phillips, it was a very, very exciting state championship ball game. And I just happened to be standing by Mr. Phillips. And he was just so excited about the possibility of winning the state championship. He said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, well, you really, not a player, not a coach. You really don't have a lot of control of what's going to happen. Just calm down. Let's try to get through it. So I want to bring out Mr. Connell Phillips and Coach Morgan to tell us about the 5A state championship.
Thank you for having us today. It was an exciting year. It was a year of lots of obstacles, and I think it's what made this win even probably one of the best wins ever, because this year has been so challenging for the girls, so many ups and downs, and I'm just like very proud of them. And so we would like to call each of their names out for you now. Adaina Morgan. Hannah Whittle. Jasmine Chacon. Victoria Hewitt. Anna Marshall. Natalie Button. Alasia Rose. Madison Carlisle. Madison Wilkins. Jemiah Pace. Anaya Hayes. Juliana Rodriguez. Ivory Walls. Carla Gonzalez. Sydney Matute. London Wilson. Jill Malone. Camille Lau. Christian Kahn. We also had Paige Strickland, who's quarantined right now. I won't be mentioning her name,
We're at 2020.
2020.
Get them to turn around, we'll take it. All girls in the back.
Yes, all girls in the back, and I'm gonna need a third for us. There we go.
Keep the mask on.
Great job. This time I'll ask our principal of Center Hill High School, Mr. Doug Payne, to come forward and introduce the National Merit Semifinals.
Thank you, Mr. Ellis, on the board. This is a great accomplishment. We have 4 this year, 3 of them are with us today. For a school our size, it's a great accomplishment to have 4. And so we look forward to more things to come. With these students, you can do a lot, get your name on the wall at Center Hill, but going one thing you can do, get your picture on the wall, and that's the National Merit Finals. So these guys are well-deserved praise today. Our first one is Joshua Armstrong. Suleiman Mania. Memoria Motley. I'd also like to introduce one of our PSAT teachers, Ms. Judith Perry. I don't think these guys would be the first to say they would be where they are without her leadership and instruction in the classroom. We also have one more who's not with us, and that is Carson Ewing.
Congratulations.
DeSoto County, Ms. Terry. Come back in. Ms. Terry was our teacher of the year for DeSoto County. What year was that? 2017. Congratulations. Right. Mr. Manager, I'm going in and have a seat. We'll get started in a second. Yeah.
Sorry.
For our teacher spotlight, yeah, one order of business I asked the board to consider. We have, all of you got a memo in front of you about 70% Fridays. We have been having 70% Fridays every Friday this semester. And I'll be asking you today to approve the memo in front of you, which will give a 70% Friday for the remainder of the 2020 school year. The other information in the memo is similar to what we've already been following. None of that is any different from what we had done earlier in the year. Anyone have any questions? You can make a recommendation. I would recommend to the board to approve 70% Friday days for the remainder of the 2021 school year.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the 70% Fridays week of Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I appreciate the board's support. I know the teachers will be very appreciative of that. This time, I would like to ask Mr. Brad Meadows, principal of Lewisburg Middle School, to come forward and introduce our teacher spotlight.
I'll second that. Our teachers definitely appreciate the 70%. Mr. Russell and the board, I want to thank you for this opportunity to come and to share a few things that are taking place at Lewisburg Middle School. And this time around, I chose to spotlight our counseling department and our two counselors that we have here. When I became principal, it didn't take me long to realize all of the stuff and how valuable counselors are to a school. And not really necessarily for what they do, but the impact that they make not only on our students, but our staff, our parents, and our entire school community. So with that, I'd like to introduce Ms. Shannon Fleming and Ms. Elizabeth Brumlow. And Ms. Brumlow just got married just last weekend, so she's actually spending y'all's honeymoon.
That's back all day.
Okay, so one of the things that we wanted to discuss first of all is exactly what the school counselors do within the school environment. And that's really changed a lot since I started over 25 years ago. But currently, what we do is we apply academic strategies, plans for post-secondary options, manage emotions within our school building for teachers and students and parents, and help them learn to apply interpersonal skills. Now, before we go forward and discuss the three main areas and how we focus that, I want to say none of what we do today and everything that you're going to see in the video in just a little bit is only possible because we have such a supportive staff. From district manager all the way down to the teachers. They are very, very good at whatever we bring to them and say, hey, we think we need to work on this, or we think we need to do that. They are so supportive about that. Okay, so there are three main areas that we focus on each year, and I'm sure Ms. Williams has talked to y'all about that, but they are academic, career and college, and social and emotional. Everything that we do that comes from the counselor's office is in one of these three main areas. We sit down in the summertime, we send out surveys to our parents, to teachers, and to students, and in our community, we get about a 60% return rate on that from everybody. That's really, really good. We asked them about what we did the previous year, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they felt was effective. We get a lot of really good feedback, both from parents and from teachers. And then we make our calendar out for the next year.
All right, so with the academics, we really focus on helping some of the individuals get organized. We've got some great students that come up on me that help get organized individually. So we do small groups, we do individuals. We discovered that our agenda that we used to buy wasn't effective for some kids. They didn't use it, they lost it. So we made our own planner and we just copy it on regular notebook paper for 9 weeks. So that kind of helps our kids that tend to lose things, keep up with it better. And then we can always make copies and it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg. We also use that as makeup forms for those students that are not completing assignments. To get that done, we use our ALC teacher to help us work that. So again, she's an awesome team player for us because all we do is fill out the forms, get it to the kids, and they go down and complete that makeup work, and she gets it back to the teachers. So that really helps us make sure that they can maintain their grades for those assignments that they maybe chose not to do, like those homework assignments. So that kind of helps with the academics. So what we've done is we've used some goals, and we use those academics and our social and emotional and our college and careers to meet these goals. So one of the goals we had was lower the retention rate. So we didn't have anyone fail last year, so that was a good one. We worked with the bottom 25% in attendance and discipline. So those academic things that we did, we really worked with those bottom 25 kids because typically they have problems in academics and staying organized and getting that makeup work. But they missed class or maybe they chose to not do the work. And then this year, what we're maintaining is maintaining that retention rate, and then we're working on 7th and 8th grade ISP. And ISP plans are the individual success plans, so we want to have that at 100% for all 7th and 8th graders this school year.
Those ISP plans really fall under the college and career readiness area. Each year with we're mandated by the state to provide 7th and 8th graders with 5 and 4-year graduation plans. So we start that very early. We started in 6th grade actually talking about it. But once we get to 7th grade, we really finalize those plans. We make sure the students understand all the different graduation options that they have. We make sure we contact with parents, because all that information goes out with parents. We used to meet with them individually to do all of that, but with everything now, we've kind of gone back to just doing it online. But we make sure the parents are involved, and they do sign off on those 5-year plans. Because when we're finished with them at the end of the year, they have chosen the courses that they're going to take in high school according to the interest survey that they did in their career cluster. Meaning, what area are you interested in doing after high school, and making sure that they understand that high school should matter according to what you want to do after. So it really gets that buy-in of how do we get kids to complete high school, to get them to understand how it's going to help them in their future, and it does work. Now, Ms. Williams has come in and bought us this Major Clarity program. It's one of the things that we told her were those ISP forms, which we've been doing on paper, because that's just the best way to do it, was not very usable. It wasn't user-friendly, trying to keep up with the paperwork, trying to send it home and get it back. But Major Clarity is a program that we've used, and we've actually done it with both our 7th and 8th graders this year so far, the first part of it, and they love it. It's been really, really great because it ties everything back to that interest inventory, and it shows them. You change your answers on the inventories, you get a whole new set of careers to look at. It shows them videos, and they have interviews with people who actually do those types of jobs, with some activities to do. So it's been really, really great. Our other thing in this area that we used and absolutely loved was the career fair that you'll see some pictures in a few minutes at the Lander Center, the Career Expo that the Councilman had kind of helped arrange, and it was probably hands down their favorite thing that they've done the last 2 years. We're unfortunately we can't do it this year, but the corporations really came in, and you're going to see them working with the kids with hands-on, and the kids are able to ask questions. This is really, really beneficial. This is a huge area of what we do. We spend a good bit of our time in this area with our students each year.
And our last area is social and emotional. So the big thing that we have always focused on is bullying, but with bullying, we can tell them what it is, how not to do it, but we've got to show some type of replacement. So we really focus on kindness matters. So teaching those kids empathy and how to include others has been our big push for the last couple of years. So we use mix-it-up lunches a lot. This is probably one of my favorite things that we do at Lewisburg, is we assign every kid a homeroom, and they're randomly selected in there. So all the 6th graders are together, all the 7th and 8th graders. are together, and they just randomly get assigned a teacher, and they don't go to homeroom very often. It's about 5 or 6 times a year when we used to mix it up. But that's how we push out some of our initiatives. So we did a big kindness initiative last year. So the teachers went through, again, they bought into our program and talked to them about what a bully is, how to prevent bullying, how to report bullying at our school, and talked to them about that. And then they did some fun activities with the kids. And these kids typically are not in class together, so they have to mix it up and get used to talking to others that they might not talk to on a day-to-day basis. And then, of course, they grab and go their lunches, and maybe they might eat in the classroom or they might eat outside, and they're really encouraged to kind of go beyond their social group than they normally would. So last year, we really did a big one with Kindness Hours. We had a photo booth in the cafeteria, and then we did those little slips of, like you go to the movies, those little 4, and all the kids got to keep one. So you'll see some pictures in there, some of the backdrops we did. But they had a lot of fun. This year, unfortunately, we can't really do mix up lunches, but hopefully we can bring it back a little bit soon. Another program that Ms. Williams bought for us is Core Essentials. And this kind of maps out each month different topics to cover and what to teach the kids. So it's really straightforward, easy for us to use. They give us good quotes. We've been using those quotes to put on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter, and then we put them on our computers, on the big screens throughout the schools so the kids see those. There's a book list, and so we can give our librarian that, and she can encourage, hey, this is the topic we're covering this month, so there's some books. There's some great videos that we love to play during lunch or during break. That's when we kind of pushed out our initiative this year is during break time, so they can watch the videos and they do a fun activity. We use Schoology a lot too for our VIP kids, and some of our kids have gone home and watched those even if they're not VIP. And the last thing that really makes it all possible for us to kind of push some of these initiatives is we have a mental health therapist on campus, and Dr. McCandless is wonderful. She has about 40 cases between us and the high school, and she really frees us up enough to where we don't have to see those kids once a week, and we can actually push some of our programs
Do more preventative.
and preventative stuff instead of having to always be reactive. And she's really great for us to be able to push, hey, if you need to see an outside counselor, she's a good go-between for us. So she is an essential part of our counseling program.
Good music, right? That is, we should just play it in board meeting. Right, that's right, background like that. Absolutely.
Board meetings are better with this.
Great presentation. I want to say, first of all, Mr. President, we appreciate your leadership and all that you do at the Lewisburg Middle School. You do a wonderful job. Speaking as far as counselors, I know I've talked to you on some Zoom calls, already this school year. And what I keep telling our counselors, and I want to applaud their efforts on the list today, Ms. Rumble and Ms. Fleming, is that our counselors have a more challenging job than ever before. Just like our teachers have a more challenging job, just like everybody does, because our counselors are counseling students in front of them, also counseling students who are online, and encountering a lot of different things I have in the past. So I want to commend y'all not only for the presentation, but for all of it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. All right, that concludes the
At this time, it's time for the opening.
Yes, ma'am. We have 3 matters, all of which need to be carried over into a different section. One is a contract matter, one is a property contract matter, the other is a property reconfiguration.
At this time, it's time for the approval of minutes from the November 5th, 2020 board meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve those minutes.
To make that motion, that we approve the minutes.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now it's time to approve the consent agenda. Today we have items A through E on the consent agenda. Are there any changes that need to be made? Seeing none, do I have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the consent.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Do I have a second? All in favor? Aye. Now we're on to new business. Item 8 are bids for PPE supplies, the FY 2021 fiscal year.
Yes, ma'am. Bid was on the 23rd for the first alcohol license for the district. That board members submit bids, my recommendation is that the board submit bids for new national.
All right, with Mr. Williams' explanation, do I have recommendations, Mr. Usleton?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid for PPE supplies for 2020.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item B is request to pay vendor purchasing rule issue, ACT Incorporated.
Ma'am, you package your final letter from the ACT Incorporated, and they delivered to us from a quote that we asked them to give us prior to us receiving the permit order. I'd like to emphasize that no employee in the district directly is dropped into a process, if it was word dropped off. Due to the time constraints and students needing your book, instead of shipping them back and reshipping, we're asking permission from the board to obtain a purchase order and purchase these products so the students can have them.
Now, what I'd like to add on that, because I know we've talked about the personal issues previously, When they came to me about this situation, the students needed the books, and so instead of sending them back and then going through the reorder process, you know, to get the best for the students. That's all it has to do.
All righty, with Mr. Williams' explanation, do you have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the request to pay the vendor for the purchase order this year for ACT.
All righty, with Mr. Appleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the request to pay the vendor?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item C is rescind board policy GBRIF, leave of absence without payment passing.
Ma'am, since the federal government mandates the Family Medical Leave Act to employers who have 50 or more employees, we're asking to rescind policy GBRIF because it's no longer needed. If an employee needs an extended absence due to illness, they should request it and not.
With Ms. Hasselman's explanation, do we have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve rescinding board policy GBRIF, leave of absence without pay.
Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the rescinding of board policy GBRIF? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item D is revised board policy GBRIG, temporary medical leave.
Yes, ma'am, this provision is being requested to clarify that temporary medical leave is available to new employees or to employees not scheduled to work 1,250 hours. So we added that word.
All right, with Mrs. Hasselman's explanation, do you have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GBRIG for temporary medical leave.
Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the revised board policy GBRIG?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Item E is revised board policy GCCEE, clerical staff office employees.
This revision is being requested due to the name change of the department from personnel to human resources.
Based on Ms. Hasselman's explanation, do you have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GCDEE, clerical staff office employees.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the revised board policy GCDEE? All in favor?
Aye.
Item F is revised board policy GCRG, classified non-certified personnel leave and active duty.
This revision is being requested to clarify that it is part-time hourly employees who will only be paid for hours worked and will not receive sick leave or paid vacation.
Based on Ms. Hasselman's explanation, do you have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GCRG, classified non-certified personnel leaves and absences.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the revised board policy GCRG?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item G is waiver of board policy IDCAB credit recovery.
Yes, ma'am. Currently, our credit recovery policy states that if students have below a 50 average, they cannot participate in credit recovery. But due to the pandemic, we're asking the board to waive the grade requirement and allow students to participate in credit recovery no matter their final average. This waiver will provide additional opportunities for students to be successful. And we are only requesting this for the rest of the school.
All right, with Ms. Hasselman's explanation, do you have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the waiver of board policy IDCAB for credit recovery.
Okay, with Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the waiver of board policy IDCAB? Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Item H is personnel, Mr. Alexander.
Yes, ma'am. Personnel packet this morning, pages 1 through 3 are recommendations. Pages 4 and 5 are personnel changes. Page 6 is additional employees waiting for their licensure. Page 7 is a memo from Coach Geek as our athletic director on paraprofessional civic assistant coaching for the 2020 school year. Page 8 is a request for additional pay from the senior director of federal programs for employee do after school and summer school tutoring, and summer tutoring. The students should be paid $27 per hour beginning 11/20/20 and ending 6/30/21. Page 9 is request from Ms. Ingram on three teachers at Fort Lake High Schools do after school tutoring with the, this will not exceed 700 hours with the same rate of pay, same dates, as previously mentioned. Page 10 is the academic support and student improvement flow chart for the district. Page 11 is the health services flow chart. Page 12 through 14 is the rotating school nurse's job description, and the simple change in that is just now they report to the director of health services. Page 15 is academic services flow chart. Page 16 is academic services elementary and secondary directors flow chart. Page 17 is English language learners flow chart. Page 18 is federal programs department flow chart. Page 19 is mental health services flow chart. Page 20 is research and accountability department's flow chart. Page 21 is special education flow chart. Pages 22 through 24 is the job description for the administrative assistant one position. And this is simply reporting now to the assistant superintendent of academic services, which would change from associate to assistant superintendent. Page 25 through 27 is a job description for the director of English learners, and it's the same change. That's the only change in that description. Page 28 through 30 is a job description for federal programs director with the same change. Pages 31 through 33 is a job description for the director of accountability and research, which is the same change. Pages 34 through 36 is a job description for the director of mental health and services. That is the same change. Also added to that is oversee and coordinate school counseling programs, coordinates and implements mental health programming for K-12 students and staff, provides consultation for staff regarding mental health concerns, provides direct supervision for all mental health school-based therapists, develops program procedures and maintains ongoing evaluations of program effectiveness and clinical intervention needs, and provides clinical supervision and support to clinical staff to ensure ongoing professional development. Pages 37 through 39 is the job description for Director of Special Education, and that's a single change of now reported Assistant Superintendent of Academic Services. Pages 40 through 42 is a job description for Academic Specialist. That has the, now will be reporting to Director of Elementary Education and Director of Secondary Education. Pages 43 through 45 is a job description for the intervention coach, 187 days with that same change. Pages 46 through 48 is a job description for intervention coaches that are 200 days with the same change mentioned previously. Pages 49 through 51 is a job description for elementary counselors. They'll be reporting to principal, director of mental health services, and now the director of elementary education, director of secondary education, depending on the grade level. And pages 52 through 54 is a job description for secondary counselor with that same change.
With Mr. Alexander's explanation, you have a recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve personnel as presented? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. All right, item I is student discipline. Mr. Finley.
Madam Chair, we have student discipline matters to address in executive session.
I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the following matters: a contract matter, a property contract matter, property configuration matter, and student discipline. I need a motion on this.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chase will come back and inform you whether we stay in executive session. The next board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, December 3rd at 3 o'clock. Thank you.
Oh.